Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works. This is your forever host, Kim, and I would like to welcome you to my show in which I am developing my next book, Forever Young, The Advanced Guide to Anti-Aging. So, if you have been joining me on my journey, you know that I said that next I would be talking about the ingredients to look out for in our anti-aging products, having already talked about products yesterday. So here I am with my top ingredients for looking out for in beauty products, or that you're likely to find in beauty products that are designed for helping anti-aging. Obviously, the fact that they're just marked on the label doesn't necessarily mean they're in high enough quantities to be useful to your skin. Sometimes they're just traces, and that's not particularly beneficial. But if you're paying a substantial amount for your products, then you can expect them to have quite high quantities of these items in. So while I wouldn't recommend that you generally need to be paying to the hundreds for your products, I would suggest that you probably need to be paying double figures in order to get good quality products. And as you progress and you need more anti-aging products, then you're looking at more and more expensive ingredients. So the higher up those double figures you're likely to go. So certainly you could expect to be paying upwards of £30 for a moisturiser in an anti-aging category. If it's less than that, then it's either a very good deal or perhaps not the best moisturiser for you. So just find out what's in it and talk to your therapist and see what they recommend. So here it goes. First of all, I'd like to talk about vitamins. And now I talked about vitamins when we were eating them, but actually there are quite a lot of vitamins these days being put into products. And I did predict in my last book that this would increase and that more and more of them would go into serums, and that they would be more and more relied on as great ingredients for our anti-aging skins. And one of the companies that do very high quality products like to call them their ACE ingredients in their products, because it's vitamins A, C and E. And if we put them on the skin, they have exactly the same benefits as if we swallow them. So obviously there's an antioxidant, and the vitamin A helps to build and support our collagen. E is very soothing, very good for dry, cracked sort of skin. It's very moisturising and has many other benefits. So exactly the same benefits as you can look for in when you eat the vitamins as when you put them on your skin. Another thing you might expect to eat rather than put on your skin is yeast extract. But yeast extract is good because it helps us use the oxygen more effectively, so that you're less likely to get so much free radical damage coming from that. Obviously, when we're talking about free radicals, and I've talked about them quite a lot as being unbalanced and needing to balance themselves, so scavenging electrons and neutrons from our cells in order to balance themselves, and that in eating antioxidants we can somewhat nullify that effect by having the antioxidants donate their electrons and neutrons to the free radicals to stop them being unbalanced. So again, this is another time where putting something on your skin is going to have a similar beneficial effect to eating it. In other words, if we put antioxidants onto our skin and they're absorbed down a little into the layers of our skin, then they will also have the beneficial effects of being antioxidant. And two of the antioxidants that you might well come across in skincare these days are white and green tea, which are very useful in helping to eliminate free radical damage. A rather exciting ingredient that you could come across is called arginine, and arginine is known as the sugar trap. And this will excite some people who are very worried about the sugar intake that they have, because in trapping the sugar, doesn't really trap it, it kind of bonds with it so that it doesn't have the same problems or create the same problems in our skin. But it's anti-glycation or anti-glycosylation. So it stops those sticky little bonds from causing our collagen to become brittle and not so stretchy and pliable. We also, I've talked about AHAs or alpha-hydroxy acids earlier, and alpha-hydroxy acids are great in products for resurfacing or from that is to say removing dead skin cells and build-up of sebum and dirt and things like that from their skin, because they help to break down the bonds that are sticking those dead skin cells to the surface of that skin. And AHAs are in quite a lot of products these days. I talked about them in terms of exfoliation because this is their main job. And you quite often come across them in products that you leave on your skin, which is good because that means that they are very, very gently working the whole time to help to freshen your skin and have this nice clean layer at the top, so that the skin cell turnover continues to work at its most efficient. So AHAs are really good things to have in your products. But make sure you don't have them in too many of your products. You don't want to be building layers and layers and layers of alpha-hydroxy acids on your skin and then going and having pills maybe. So you need to be quite careful about how you use these kinds of products. Make sure that you're not using the wrong ones together and things like that. It's very much worth checking with your therapists to make sure that you're using appropriate products together. And also, probably you will want to introduce these things slowly. You don't want to suddenly think, oh, my skin's aging, I better go out there and I better start doing all of this resurfacing of my skin and exfoliating massively, because if you've not previously exfoliated your skin, it needs to build up a kind of tolerance to being exfoliated. If you go in and put lots and lots of exfoliant on your skin all in one go, then what could happen is that your skin could react badly. So you need to be quite gentle about applying alpha-hydroxy acid to your skin and exfoliants. So whether it be physical exfoliants with beads in, or these kind of chemical ones, you need to introduce them gently and make sure that you build up a tolerance over time. And once you've done that, you can go along and you can have some really quite deep kind of very cleansing treatments done, which take off a lot of dead skin cells and really, really refresh your skin. That you can have done at the therapist, which are not treatments you can do at home. But until you've built up a tolerance to having exfoliation done, then it's not recommended you have those. While I'm on the conversation about exfoliants, and I mentioned their beads, it's very important to look out for products that have some kind of natural ingredient in as the beads. You don't want to be using a product with synthetic beads in it. It's been very, very prevalent in the news over the last few years that these beads, the artificial ones, are building in our water systems and creating an environmental hazard. So although I think that they are due to be banned any time now, sometime very soon, it's quite important to avoid any products with those in. but also avoid things that have got rough, harsh shells. If you rub a product on the back of your hand and it feels as though it's scratching you rather than that kind of rolling bead feel where it feels as though it's kind of slightly abrasive, but not as though it's cutting into your skin, then the kind of normal rolling kind of feel is fine. But if it actually feels that it's scratching your skin, then avoid that product. You don't want that product that's going to scratch at your skin and your face. It would leave you red and can create problems. So yeah, don't use products that do that. Now I'm going to talk about a rather magical product now, which is called magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which thankfully people normally shorten to MAP. And MAP is very good at fighting against the effect of enzymes. Now, I can hear you asking, why is that useful? So, enzymes we create in our own skin. They're very important because they help us in our healing and repair process. And what they do is they help to break down bonds and things, and particularly scar tissue and stuff, so that we can rebuild our skin with a nice surface. Now, this is very important, obviously, in healing, but what can happen is that they can be overactive and they can actually start to break down the structure of the skin itself. So what MAP does, it fights against these particularly three enzymes, which are called collagenase, elastase, and hyaluronidase. And these three enzymes are the ones that are responsible for this breakdown of our skin, skin's actual structure, if they are slightly out of balance, if they're working too hard. And what happens is, excuse my telephone, I'm going to switch that off, I didn't realise it was on. What happens is that MAP is very good at helping to prevent those enzymes from working too hard and inhibiting that breakdown effect. So why is that useful for your skin? Well, the structure of your skin, which is the collagen and the elastin fibers, underlying fat, which helps hold it up, and muscle, all of those things can be affected by these enzymes. And if they start to be broken down more than necessary, then the skin starts to lose its structure, it starts to collapse. And if you think about what that means, this is where wrinkles can be formed very easily. If part of your skin's not held up as it should be, then it's going to fall down and create a dip in your skin, which naturally will become a fine line and eventually a wrinkle. So this is where your magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, your MAP, is brilliant, because in inhibiting these enzymes, it really helps to alleviate the problems with fine lines and wrinkles. So you can get it in products, but sometimes you get it almost as a pure product that you can either use in specific areas where you're concerned about the look of fine lines and wrinkles, or you can add to your moisturizer and use for a more overall effect. Another product which you will definitely have heard of in recent years is hyaluronic acid, and this has been quite a buzzword for quite a few years now. And hyaluronic acid is very hydrating. In being hydrating, obviously, it will help to keep your skin in good order, because our skin needs to be well hydrated to be working at its most effective. I did talk about it needing to have the right levels of moisture and oil balanced. Now, a lot of products have oil in, which is good and helps moisturize the skin, but having the hyaluronic acid there, bringing in water as well really helps to keep that balance in good order. So hyaluronic acid is definitely worth looking out for rather, and it can hold up to 1,000 times its own weight in water. So you can see it's very hydrating, and there are some encapsulated forms that hold even more than that, about 6,000 times. So if your product says encapsulated hyaluronic acid, it doesn't mean that it's in a capsule and you can't get to it. It means that it's actually going to hold even more water, even more moisture to bring to your skin than if it wasn't. So now I'm going to talk about some of the other more natural ingredients for your skin that you might come across in some products that are deemed natural products. Although I always say to people, look out for natural products and natural ingredients because they're well absorbed, the main things that I would suggest are very important to have natural are your oils. And these are the ones that you need to have absorbed into your skin. And the oils that are best for your skin are always natural oils. Mineral oils, which are in quite a number of products, and particularly baby products, are almost exclusively made of mineral oils. They will leave a lovely sheen on your skin and it will look lovely and bright, but they are not very good for your skin because they actually block it and are not cleaned off by a natural cleaning process afterwards. You need to have an oil-based cleanser, such as the kind of when I was talking about pre-cleanse, to remove mineral oils from your skin in order for it to be able to function properly and desquamate or exfoliate those top cells. Because otherwise those cells are just building under the skin. Your skin isn't going to be renewing itself properly. It allows the mineral oil to take over its own process of protection, because mineral oil actually does a very good job at protecting the skin and stopping anything from going in. So the skin stops doing all of the things that it normally has to do to protect its own skin, to protect itself. And in doing so, the skin can become very dull after a while. So it's quite important to avoid mineral oils in products. Now, in suggesting that I think it's important that you use natural products, sometimes manufactured products, such as the MAC I was just talking about, are actually really effective. But the very best products out there, I would suggest, are ones that use a lot of natural products and maybe some key manufactured ingredients that are really, really beneficial. So here are a few of the more natural products that you might come across in their own names in your skincare products. Aloe vera is fantastic for healing, and it is always a good ingredient in products. It's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, and also is one of these products that can balance the skin to back to normal. So it's called an adaptogen. It helps drier skin become more to normal, but also oilier skin, it brings it back into balance. It's very good for that. Avocado oil is particularly good for aging, it especially because it helps the production of collagen. And I've been talking to you all along about collagen being part of the skin's structure. Now, the next product I'm going to talk about is collagen itself. So obviously, if you can produce your own skin's collagen, and if you can promote the health of the collagen in your skin itself, that's the premium thing to do. Another option is to put collagen on your skin, which can be absorbed and to help prop up that structure. Now, when I wrote my original book, I said in it that it was not vegetarian because it comes from um, uh, animal sources. But actually, since that time, I've come across collagen from kelp, which is often described as marine sources. So kelp is a kind of seaweed, and it has quite a kind of fleshy, strong structure. And I imagine this is why it's very good for providing us with collagen. And the places where I've come across this particular kind of collagen are especially in these masks that you get, the ones that come in a package that are moistened, and they're made out of a kind of clear jelly-like thing with eyes and nose and mouth already cut into them, and the therapists lay them on your skin, and they're very hydrating. They're full of liquid, and the liquid's packed with vitamins and things that are designed to not only soothe your skin, because that's why those kind of masks are used, because they're very cooling, but also to add lots and lots of nourishment and hydration. And this is where I've come across these kelp based collagens, is in these kind of masks. And at the show I was at on Friday, which was the one that I attended after doing my show, I also came across some anti-aging lip gloss. Now, it was at that show, and the reason it was there is because they're looking for sponsors in this country. So if you know anybody who would like to import vast quantities of anti-aging lip gloss, then that would be fantastic, because at the moment it's not actually available in this country. But this, among other ingredients, contains this kelp-based collagen. So that's one to look out for. Now, the other thing you could also come across, and I've seen it at quite a lot of shows, it is collagen you can drink. Now, the collagen you can drink is usually from animal sources, and one of them was from a shellfish-based source. So if you're vegetarian, then those are not suitable for you. And I'm not completely sure how well collagen will be absorbed into your system and used, because actually collagen is a protein. So if we eat any other kind of protein, like some beans or a piece of beef or something, then it's broken down into its basic amino acids, and the amino acids are sent out around our body and used to build things like collagen. So if we are swallowing collagen, I can't imagine why it wouldn't just be broken down and reassembled exactly the same as any other amino acids. So I'm not convinced that it's actually useful to try and consume collagen in its own right. But the jury's open for that one. If somebody can show me some evidence, I'll be very happy to see it and say, yeah, that was great. Yeah, I'd like to see the evidence that actually being helpful. So next on my list, I've got frankincense. Now, all of us will have heard of frankincense from the Bible, but the reason that frankincense is given to Jesus, was one of the three gifts, is because it's actually used, or was traditionally used, and I think it still may well be used, in embalming. So it's a very, very good preservative for our skin, and highly, highly antioxidant. So as you can imagine, if something can preserve somebody who's dead, therefore not actually going through the healing process anymore, it's actually quite useful for people that still have a healing process going on, in kind of keeping that skin in good condition. Next, I've got Jasmine and Neroli and Rose. Now, Jasmine and Neroli and Rose are three of my favourite ingredients to put into a face oil when I'm making one for somebody. But they're also fiercely expensive. So why would somebody put fiercely expensive ingredients into a facial oil? And my answer is, aside from the fact that all three of them smell absolutely gorgeous, Jasmine is really very, very good for skin elasticity. It helps to rebuild our collagen and elastin fibres and tighten them up. And I've actually seen really good results on people with stretch marks, helping to alleviate stretch marks after pregnancy. It's quite important in terms of aromatherapy not to use jasmine while you're actually pregnant. So this is not a good oil to use during your pregnancy to prevent stretch marks, but after you've had a baby, then it's perfectly okay to use on your stretch marks, providing it's blended by an aromatherapist for you. And I'm going to add a quick addendum to that, which is not particularly anti-aging oil, but is fantastic for those stretch marks. In my own experience, is Mandarin, and I've used a blend of Mandarin and Jasmine on stretch marks for people, and the effects are really, really quite good. So if that's something you're concerned about, stretch marks and presumably scarring, because this is again another area where the collagen needs to be in good condition, then I would suggest giving that a try. Neroli is the next of our three exquisite but expensive ingredients, and neroli is a member of the orange family. It comes from the flowers of a particular orange tree, and so it's very, very sweet, beautiful smelling oil, but it's brilliant for cell regeneration. And obviously I mentioned that cell regeneration slows down dramatically the older we get. So it starts to slow down as we get into our 30s, as we get into our 40s, and it slows down considerably by the time we get into 50s plus. Then it's become quite sluggish, which is why we begin to look less glowing and have less of that lovely complexion that we did when we were younger, as well as the fine lines and wrinkles and things. Our skin just doesn't have that same glowing complexion that it did when we were younger, and this is because of the cell turnover. The regeneration is happening much more slowly, so therefore the cells are not lost from the surface of the skin as quickly, which is the reason that exfoliation is part of the key to anti-aging. And finally, Rose is our third queen bee of the facial oils. And Rose is fantastic for its antioxidant purposes. As you can imagine, smells divine, but also promotes cell renewal as well. So if you get the three of those key essential oils together, you've got skin elasticity, cell regeneration and renewal all happening with antioxidants. Absolutely wonderful for your skin. And the final product that I've got as a key one for our skin is shea butter. And shea butter is another ingredient that you'll find in many, many skincare products, especially ones for the body. And shea butter is great because, again, it promotes that collagen. It helps to promote the structure of our skin. So that, because it's the structure that's degenerating when our skin is stretched, this is another one of the ones that you'll find in products especially formulated for those stretch marks. So shea butter, you don't get it in so many face creams and things because it's very, very thick, emollient kind of texture, but it does promote that collagen, so it's well worth looking out for. Anyway, so that's my list of ingredients to especially look out for in terms of anti-aging. And where am I going next? Well, next I'm going to be talking about treatments. Now, I've not quite done my series in order, but I've already previously talked about my anagram of I've already previously talked about youth as being younger, healthier skin, organic program, unique for you, treatments and holistic. But I have another of these things that I'm calling an anagram, and that's not the right word because my brain's not working, but another acronym. And my other acronym that I'm going to be introducing in this book is PLANTS. So PLANTS is P for products, L for lifestyle, A for activity, N for nutrition, T for treatments, and then S for success. So I've already done products on today's show and the previous show. I've talked about lifestyle, I've talked about activity, and I've talked about nutrition. So next on my list is treatments, which I'll be talking about in my next show. And then after I've talked about treatments, which may tip into 2 shows, I'm not completely certain how long that will take, then the next on the list is success, which is where I talk about my coaching program. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you found what I had to say informative, and I look forward to hearing from you or on my Facebook page if you'd like to come over there and see me. I am still undertaking my micronutrient challenge, and I'm still hoping that somebody will join in, actually, because so far a couple of people have made comments, but nobody's actually sent me any information about having joined in themselves. So my goodie book bag is still up for grabs to somebody who sends me a nice story, preferably with a photo, on my Facebook page. So come over and join me at Forever Young the book on my Facebook page, and I welcome you. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. It was lovely to have you joining me here, and I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.